Hey guys, these NBA unsportsmanlike moments are just too much. The NBA is usually a pretty classy sport, and luckily the majority of players nowadays seem to get along great. However, every once in a while we get some awful displays of sportsmanship that really shock us. So in today's video, we're going to cover 15 of the most unsportsmanlike moments. Number 15, Jeff Teague. Teague has been known the last few years to not really have much of an impact on teams in the NBA like he used to. However, he found a different way to contribute when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ricky Rubio was carrying the ball up for the Utah Jazz, and Teague was running after him. Despite keeping up with him, Teague chose to just body slam him off to the side.
Here come the Jazz. And then Teague hammers Rubio. Rubio gets up in disgust.
Rubio wasn't expecting the hit and went flying towards the front row of the stands and fell down. Luckily, Rubio got up and walked it off, while the rest of the players on the court got into a small scuffle. Number 14, Isaiah Thomas. We all remember those days when Thomas was just traded from the Boston Celtics over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. In this particular play, Thomas was acting as the help defender on Andrew Wiggins and didn't really use much of his defensive intelligence to help out. Wiggins went to run right past him, and Thomas stuck his arm out and literally karate chopped him in the throat. Wiggins, of course, instantly fell to the floor, and fans started booing over this cheap shot in the middle of the play. Number 13, Russell Westbrook. With Westbrook still on the Oklahoma City Thunder, he did something incredibly unsportsmanlike during their playoff series against the Jazz. Russ had felt that he was fouled and was angry at the referees. Meanwhile, the loose ball bounced into the hands of Jay Crowder, who was turning to run up court. Westbrook was running over to the ball, but because he was so mad at the ref, he chose to just stick his arm in and hit Crowder in the chest to intentionally foul him while he went over and had a chat with the official. Crowder didn't take too kindly to it and had to be pushed away from Russ to get everything sorted out. Number 12, Marcus Morris. This one was iconic for all the wrong reasons. In a game that literally didn't matter in the slightest, with the New York Knicks up by 15 points, Morris let his emotions get the best of him. Holding the ball over his head from behind the three-point line, he scanned the floor and randomly bopped his defender right on his head with the basketball. Then he proceeded to keep on playing like nothing had happened. The refs got involved and shut the play down, which then turned into a small skirmish. Replay also showed that Morris took a swing at him with his right elbow earlier in the play that luckily didn't connect. Number 11, RAJON Rondo. Right in the middle of a play, Rondo let his presence felt by Isaiah Thomas. Thomas was playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Rondo was with the New Orleans Pelicans, two spots that just don't seem right when you first look at it. Anyway, Kyle Kuzma dropped in a three-pointer, but cameras saw Rondo hit Thomas right under the jaw the second Kuzma let the ball fly from his hands. And here's the thing, the two guys were on the other side of the court as well. Number 10, Marquise Chris and Luka Doncic. This one falls on both of them. As the ball was passed up the court, Chris and Doncic got a little physical. Luka kind of slapped his arms away from him and exchanged small pushes, but then Chris went ahead and two-hand shoved him into the ground. Doncic fell on two cameramen who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then Luka got up and sprinted in a hurry to confront Chris for his actions. This was really unnecessary on both sides. Number 9, Bobby Portis. With Kyrie Irving on the Brooklyn Nets this season, he made a beautiful move to get to the basket. The crowd all let out a gasp after the move, but unfortunately, he got thrown off balance by what seemed like an obvious foul call. Irving fell down and the ball landed right in his lap while he was sitting. He was pointing at the referee and everybody kind of stopped because they thought the play was dead, but then out of nowhere, Bobby Portis came in and started roughing up Irving, trying to strip the ball away from him.
I don't know if that was a foul, right? But here, I think the whistle is blown and he's still trying to take the ball from Kyrie.
It just looked really violent and random while Irving was clearly giving himself up on the ground with no play going on. Number 8, Jay Crowder and Elfrid Payton. Now, we all know that it's an unwritten rule in basketball to never take a shot with the game clock winding down and the game already decided late in the fourth quarter. In this case, the Grizzlies were running the clock out and gave it to Crowder to just dribble it out. Instead, he set up and took a three-point shot, and Elfrid Payton took exception. He sprinted over and checked Crowder while he was mid-shot, knocking him down onto the ground. If you ask me, this one was pretty unsportsmanlike on both sides. Number 7. J.R. Smith. Most players can tell when they've been beaten on a play. Some take it well, and others lay the hammer on them in order to get revenge. Smith chose the revenge option here. Al Horford slipped past the defense and rose up for a dunk. Smith caught this a little too late and shoved him in the back with 2 hands while Horford was still in the air. Horford went flying into the crowd while Marcus Smart sprinted over and started a scuffle to defend his teammate. I'm thinking JR must not be subscribed to our channel, otherwise he would have never been caught slacking like this. If you guys want to avoid sleeping in the middle of a play, make sure you smash that subscribe button right now, and then we'll get back to the video. Number 6. Grayson Allen. During the Summer League, Grayson Allen got pretty frustrated. Granted, his team was down by over 30 points at the time, but still, Allen was on defense and an opposing player set a screen to chip him mid-play. Allen didn't care for that too much, and he grabbed his arm and kinda slung him down onto the ground. Of course, the play was instantly ruled a foul. Number 5. It's Grayson Allen again. This is kind of a continuation, but it's still another unsportsmanlike moment. The same guy who'd gotten thrown down for setting that screen also received a nice pass on the baseline and rose up for 2 points. Allen was late getting over and jumped up to block the shot. The only problem was that he intended to give him a hard foul, and you could hear the contact he made with the guy mid-air.
Caruso taken away by Middleton for a moment, then DeSumu's got it, hits the trailer, Caruso and a hard foul.
Allen hit him right in the back of the head, getting called for yet another foul. Number 4. Jared Dudley and Marquise Chris. In this instance, Chris fell hard during the play, but no foul was called for it. Ricky Rubio, realizing that, quickly tried to get the ball inbounded before the defense could set up. When the ball came into play, Rubio started taking it up court before Dudley just smashed into him, knocking him to the ground. 2 seconds later, for whatever reason, Chris came flying in and delivered a cheap shot to the back of Rubio and knocked him over again. Both of these were just horrific acts of sportsmanship. Number 3. Pascal Siakam. In a playoff series against the Philadelphia 76ers, Siakam drove to the rim and was rejected by none other than Joel Embiid. After falling down, the ball fell in the field of play still, so there was no foul or anything. Siakam saw Embiid about to get the ball, so he clearly stuck out his foot and tripped him before he could grab it. Number 2. Trevor Ariza. This is one of those you can't do that around me kind of moments. Trae Young was heading up court and decided to randomly nutmeg Ariza, who was backpedaling to stay on defense. Almost instantly after Young went to go past him to retrieve the ball on the other side, Ariza checked Young out of the way, refusing to give him that highlight.
Yeah, he tried to go through his legs, and Ariza didn't care for that at all.
Number 1. Toronto Raptors fans. Maybe they just didn't know what was going on here, but Raptors fans actually cheered when Kevin Durant went down with that awful Achilles injury during the NBA Finals.
Ibaka trying to stay with Durant, knocks it away, and Durant slipping.
That's just a horrible look for their franchise, but thankfully they did start to root for him as he was helped off the court. Hopefully they were just cheering over the forced turnover and not the actual injury, but nonetheless, it was a pretty bad look. And that does it on the top 15 unsportsmanlike moments in the NBA in recent memory. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch the top 10 most dangerous NBA injuries next.